Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner, unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back. From the Daily Wire, the single biggest misconception is that we are lying, CNN contributor says. Little PSA, little public service announcement. As you're reading the rest of this article, as I go over it, try not to drink or eat anything because you're either going to choke on it or you're going to spit it up, because I was drinking a soda, Diet Coke, as a matter of fact, when I was reading this, and put some of it up my nose. Let's read on. These guys, I use my regular saying, these guys suck so bad. The two biggest misconceptions about the legacy media are they are lying and that they manifest political bias. That's the misconception. According to CNN's reliable sources. Now, if the name of Stelter's show, Reliable Sources, is not an oxymoron, I have no clue what isn't. The media's bias actually benefits the people journalists are biased against, the show insists. Think about that statement for a minute. It actually helps the people they are biased against. Well, in a way, he might be right. Let's read on. The single biggest misconception is that we are lying. Guest Amara Schiavo Campo told Brian Stelter on Sunday's episode, which tackled alleged common myths about the state of American journalism. I know when I was young and I was in what they call middle school, now we call it junior high, I wanted to be a reporter. And we did a mock setup for a union in a business. They were on strike. They were negotiating a union contract. And I was a reporter. And we had a bunch of kids that were the business and a bunch of kids that were the union reps. And I was a reporter. And I loved every minute of it. And I never got to be one, but I always wanted to. There's a lot of media mistrust, she said accurately. She said frequently encounters media misconceptions while I'm at a cocktail party. Yeah, people get a couple of drinks and they actually say what they think. I hear this all the time. And here's what I would love to correct about that misconception. We are human, we make mistakes. But she added, the most often when people point out examples of media's lies, what they're pointing out is an example of a mistake, not an intentional lie. 100% unadulterated bull. Really? How about the Trump-Russia collusion? Did Trump use the Russians to help win the election? That wasn't a mistake. Not at all. Even Adam Schiff, that piece of I did an episode where he admitted, well, we had no idea that the Steele dossier from the former British agent would have been wrong and lies. And yeah, because you never checked it out, because you were against Trump. He incited the insurrection January 6th. Another lie. I can go on and on and on, but you get the idea. Remember the one about feeding the fish when he was with the Prime Minister of Japan? And I think it was CNN or MSNBC edited the film, so it looks like Trump just dumped his in and he was just being a jerk, or he was just following the Prime Minister's lead. The Prime Minister dumped his in, so Trump did too. You mean like that? You mean the time where Melania Trump was sitting with Vladimir Putin at a state dinner? It was in Europe somewhere, I don't remember, I'm assuming it's Russia. And they had interpreters. And then they waved the interpreters away, and it was like, Melania Trump is giving secrets to the Soviet president. Dun, dun, dun. Well, ever try to talk to somebody through an interpreter while you're eating dinner? It's got to be a real pain in the butt. Well, she speaks several languages, unlike what the media says. She's very intelligent. And he was the head of the KGB in East Germany. So, when they both found out they speak fluent German, They sent the interpreters away so they could sit down like human beings and talk while they're eating. That wasn't a mistake. That was a lie, too. And I could go on and on and on. Neither she nor Stelter addressed 60 Minutes reporter Sharon Afonzi accusing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis of corruption, then editing out the substantive part of his response, which refuted her allegation. Yeah, is not telling the whole truth the same as lying? Is editing it out to make it look like that she was right even though she wasn't? Yeah, that's a lie. Mistakes are always innocent. Oh, my God. We do not have malicious intent. They hate Trump's guts. They hate Republicans. They are an arm of the Democratic National Committee. Period. Neither mentioned CNN contributor Reza Aslan, who suggested he liked to punch 16-year-old Nick Sandmann in the face during his viral standoff with left-wing activist Nathan Phillips. Honest question, have you ever seen a more punchable face than this kid's? Aslan tweeted of the teenager. Earlier in 2017, Aslan had called President Trump a piece of. CNN continued enumerating the common lies and errors about the media, which she said, saying another big misconception about the legacy media is that reporters suffuse their coverage with their own political bias. She said it seems really ironic, but journalists are aware of their own political bias. Yeah, they're aware, and they don't care. They're not reporting anything anymore. They're a propaganda outfit. They're going to say, well, John, Fox News is like that. They're very biased. And they say so right up front. Do you see Brett Baer, who does the real news? Do you see him acting like CNN? Of course not. Of course not. You're going to get your opinion shows. Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. They don't pretend to be reporters. They're not. Remember the idiot in CNN that was standing in front of this huge burning building in the background saying that the protests were mostly peaceful? People are idiots. And by the way, several of the producers now have been arrested and charged with SEX crimes. Oh, Lord. We'll overcompensate to make sure the other side really gets a fair amount of coverage and gets explained properly. You know, these people got a serious set of cojones, I tell you. Unbelievable. Let me highlight that because it's so ridiculous. Remember I warned you about not eating or drinking while you're watching this? We'll overcompensate to make sure the other side really gets a fair amount of coverage and really gets explained properly. They are so full of... You know what the scary part is? These mental pygmies, these morons, I think actually believe it. So in my view, when we do have political bias, it's the other view that actually benefits from that because we're trying to counter our own human impulses, she claimed. What a huge pile of bull that is. Stop the video and read that again. These people are nuts. That's very interesting, replied Stelter, who said that mistakes often creep in because of the network's crazy workflow. Oh, yeah, he was so busy when he had to do a remote, he forgot to put his pants on. Remember that when he was at his house? He's sitting there in his underwear with his shirt and his tie on. Then we have another guy, how do I put this delicately, during a Zoom meeting, I forgot the guy's name, doing a little asexual reproduction, as they say, while everybody's watching. They brought him back. In reality, CNN has systematically purged every contributor who expressed the view of 78 million Americans who voted for the Republican ticket last November. After the firing of former U.S. Senator Rick Santorum in May, nearly half of CNN's remaining quote-unquote Republican commentators endorsed Joe Biden in advance of the 2020 election. And they have the whole list there. What a list of misfits and losers that is. The latest hire, Alyssa Farah, has been highly critical of the former President Trump. Instead, CNN host Don Lemon said everyone who voted for Trump, yeah, there's another beauty. who voted for Trump ticket voted to associate themselves with neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan. He featured no opposing viewpoint. That's nuts. Before Trump was a Republican, I've seen tons of pictures. Jesse Jackson, that piece of crap, Al Sharpton, all giving awards to Donald Trump for his help in the African-American community. Stelter and Shiav Kampa addressed on the address to why CNN does not cover stories that have already circulated on social media. Verification. Verification takes time. Wouldn't the hell did it ever take the time to verify anything? And when they're proved wrong 98% of the time, they just ignore it. These people are unbelievable. Unbelievable. They believe this horse. They actually do, I think. I think they're actually... Well, I'm not going to say what the saying is, but you get the idea. It does not explain CNN's error-laden coverage of numerous recent stories. For instance, in September, Stelter criticized a faulty media narrative that erroneously claimed border guards whipped illegal immigrants from Haiti attempting to cross the Del Rio into Del Rio, Texas. He did not mention that CNN had repeated the same narrative at least 7 times in the past week. Nor did CNN await verification before presenting Nick Sandman and other students of Kentucky's Covington Catholic High School as aggressively mocking American Indians based on their ethnicity. Yeah, and they paid a crap load of money. That's a thing. I wish Sandman and now Cal Rittenhouse and all of them, when they get all this money, don't make it so you can't say what the amount was. An undisclosed amount. No, I want to see, instead of the American people. CNN's tagline is facts first, and when we believe their reporting was in the circumstance was lies first, cover up second. They barely do that. They just ignore it when you call them a liar. In facts not yet determined by that organization, Salmon's attorney told Fox News. That's millions and millions of repetitions of lies and falsehoods that CNN spread. CNN ultimately settled Sandman's $275 million lawsuit against the network in January for an undisclosed sum. Disclose it next time. When Stelter lamented the fact that Governor DeSantis had said conservatives should assume the legacy of media lying, Salmon pointed to his own story as an example. This is from Stelter. GOP's anti-media streak summarized. Governor of one of the biggest states in the U.S. says citizens should assume news outlets are lying to them. Twitter. Yeah, we should assume they're lying. Everybody has a bias. I don't have a problem with that. You hate Donald Trump, use facts. You hate Republican Party, use facts. You hate Nick Sandman, use facts. No, they don't. The ratings of Stelter's show, which frequently critiques Fox News, yeah, they're like the we're reliable sources are now all we do is just go over every little detail of all of Fox's shows. Unbelievable. Fox News and Donald Trump are renting huge amounts of space in all their heads rent-free, which frequently critiques Fox News while ignoring its own network's feebles, have plummeted throughout 2021. Unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this piece of... You realize somebody told me he's like 35, 36 years old? Geez, you got to be kidding me, right? These guys suck so bad. It's unbelievable to me. But here's the thing. There's MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC. They're all trying to get a share of that 40-odd% of the brainwashed cult member morons. Whereas Fox News and Newsmax, to a certain extent, get the rest. They don't have to fight 6 other people for ratings. And they continue to plummet. I'll try to watch CNN once in a while or go on a story they have on YouTube, and I can't stand 30 seconds in. I try. I really do. These guys suck so bad. So bad. They got Joe Biden elected. Just themselves. Plus the social media. When that Hunter Biden story broke about his laptop, what did we get from CNN, reliable sources? That's what we got. These guys should be in jail, frankly. Well, maybe worse. Maybe just bankrupted and thrown out of the industry, period. Have run some little website somewhere called, Brian Stelter's Real News or something stupid. And these people make a lot of money. A lot of money. Unbelievable. I used to think they knew they were lying when they do stories like this, and what they say they know is BS. But I think it's actually worse now. These mental pygmies actually believe this now. And that, folks, is mental illness. Why are they on television talking to millions of people when they're mentally ill? If somebody can answer that question, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.